It's one of those things where you find yourself thinking about an idea or concept so much that no matter what you do, no matter how you say, oh, no one cares about that, or no one needs to know that, or what's the point of even shooting it, you inevitably shoot it. And that's kind of what this video is. It's the problem child of an idea that I had that I couldn't get rid of, and ultimately I think you guys could learn from it. I think I could learn from it. So let's get into it. As you can see from the title, creator's block versus laziness. How are those two things, intertwined? How are those two things important? Well, coming from a creative as well as a student, they tie in a lot. And what I mean by that is, on one side of the fence, I'm a studying architect / landscape architect, and on the other side of the fence, I am a videographer / photographer / aspiring cinematographer. And what that basically has allowed me to do is, well, create, design things, shoot things, create projects that honestly, as just a regular person, I would not have any reason to do or any reason to pursue doing it, right? The issue, or should I say the problem that I always find myself having is creator block, or should I say writer's block, but since I'm speaking on the premise of being a creative, I'm gonna call it creator's block. If you've ever been in a class where you have to do an essay, you have to write up multiple pages of, whatever it is, and you sit down and you're like, yeah, I can do this, and you put the pen to the paper and start, going at it, and then 2 paragraphs in, you're like, wait, what am I even writing? You have the idea, but putting it on paper is so foreign, is so weird that when you try to do it, you get a block, because you know what you want to do, you see where it's going, but actually following through is hard. A lot of people call that procrastination or just not following through, but there's a difference between those two, and honestly, I don't think I'm qualified enough to even go into that, so I'll just leave that at that. The definition doesn't define fully the actual thing that happens, right? You can say that creator's block is the inability to formulate your ideas and put them together and create content, or create like a project or concept and put it out there. But then at the same time, you can have that idea, but your project is so vast and large that the amount of effort you would put in to create it, it's so much that you basically say, oh, I'll just do it later, or I'll just do it tomorrow, or I'll just not do it at all. That's where the laziness factor comes in, because that's not a block. That's just you not being willing to follow through because it's too much work or it takes up too much time. That is the part that most people do see. It's like, oh, just lock in, get your project done, you have all the time in the world. And for that, I would say, yeah, a lot of people do have all the time in the world. A lot of people have perfect time management, but there's some people who, no matter how much they manage their time, or no matter how much they lock in and say, yeah, I'm gonna do this, they aren't able to, because formulation of the idea is there, but the overall full concept, full breakdown detail is not there. And for me personally, if I don't see that visually, I can't follow through, due to the fact that it's one of those cases where if I were to follow through, I'm gonna put out garbage. And if I put out garbage, I'm gonna want to redo it. And if I want to redo it, it's gonna take up even more time. And you see the ripple effect of what happens. Speaking from example, I brought props because that's just how I am as a person. Let's get into this, for instance. This is one of the projects I made this semester. It's a contour garden. That's technically what this is supposed to represent. However, you can see certain nuances to it. All the contours have to be circular in cut. All the trees have a specific dimension that they have to be based on the tree trunk height. I had to create scalar people, if you can see that, hopefully it focuses, And all that boils down to, how do I create a contour garden that doesn't match, all my other classmates, or it doesn't match the example that was given on the sheet? The first thing you do is obviously generate your concept. So I did multiple renditions, multiple drawings. I think in a previous video I mentioned that we have to do like a bunch of renditions in this. Trust me when I say it's not just one, it's a lot. But once you do that, then you finally come down to all the measurements. And once you get your measurements laid out, lined up, that's the only way you'll get to physically be able to build this. But here's the thing. In building this, I didn't just get all my measurements and say, okay, cool, yeah, I'm done. Let's actually formulate this and build this. This is dropped in, and this is dropped in, and it drops in again. Because my concept was to create a valley system that would showcase water catchment and water conservation. If it rained or if sprinklers came on, all the water would pool to one specific location, be dissipated and recycled in the system. So that's why that was contoured in a way where it dipped down as you went, right? This was supposed to represent that. However, I ended up making a slope upwards, then downwards, which eliminated the whole concept. And I did that 3 times. So I had the project finished and I had to go back in and recut everything out, including adding more layers of cardboard to cut deeper due to the fact that I had to go 2 more layers, and obviously cardboard is just 1 layer thick, so I had to add an extra. You get the point. The concept that I formulated, the idea that I generated, was not this. This was my project 2, and I was very proud of it. And it ended up being, I think, if I'm not mistaken, my 2nd highest grade. And you would say, oh, but if you guys think it looks cool, you'd say, oh, well, how is that your 2nd highest? Well, we can get into this one, which, as you can see, is even more technical in the sense that this is a split level garden where I had to generate a concept that showcases the difference between elevation and slopes and just a lot. But here's the thing. One thing you guys can probably see is that my trees on the previous and on this are different due to the fact that when generating my concepts, I only wanted to do these type of trees. But the thing is, as I started cutting the pieces out, I realized that I honestly can do staggered trees. These small ones that look more like pine trees were done intentionally because I wanted to create that depth. Like when you look at it from eye level, I wanted to create that separation, and that never occurred to me when I was designing it. That never occurred to me when I was creating my initial concept. As I started to build the model, that's when this idea came about. In showing those projects, what did I intend to accomplish? Well, I guess I just wanted to at least showcase that ideas tend to happen as you go, not just as you create them and then you just follow through and that's it. And that's just from an architectural side of things, right? I also do videography, as most of y'all probably know. And in the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks, bro, finals week finished and I'm just been catching up on sleep, so my days are merged. As finals finished, I ended up doing 3 projects back to back. I shot a video, or I shot and edited a video for a fraternity, like their end of year Christmas party thing. I did one for another fraternity, but I never edited it. I was just there as like a on-site cam op and gimbal up. And the third was a party at a bar that I got contracted out to shoot and edit for. You would say, hey, projects coming in, you're churning them out. No. The projects were coming in, yes. But the issue is that the ideas that I had in terms of the edit, the design I was trying to go for, I didn't have it because I just came out of school, as you guys can see. I had a lot of stuff to formulate, a lot of stuff to design and create. So coming back into the media creation fold, I had an issue regarding formulating my thoughts back to creator mode. So I would sit down in front of my laptop for hours on end. I don't know what audio I want to use. I don't know what edits I want to use in terms of transitions. I don't know what grade I want to use in terms of creating like a creative look. And honestly, for a point in time, it got me really down because I was like, one, I need to get these projects out because, hey, it's work that I was asked to do. But at the same time, I need to get these projects out with like a creative look on it, with like a style in it that if people see it, they know that, oh yeah, Jordan did that. Or, oh yeah, like this dude, that was here, I booked him, I want to book him again probably because, his stuff is dope. Not just, oh yeah, that guy shot for me, I paid him, but I don't like the content. Ultimately, I like to put out the best content that I possibly can, in the sense where if you like it, if I like it, if someone who has nothing to do with the project at all likes it, then I did my job right. Yeah, coming back into the creative space and trying to get those videos out, get those ideas out. Remember, I'm trying to create 4 videos. Well, trying to create 3 videos, but I shot 4. So I'm trying to create 3 videos back to back, literally to export the next week. And yeah, I sat there, dropped audio on the timeline, listened through, played the videos over multiple times. It wasn't just a watch through and cut, watch through, cut. It was a watch through, cut, drop in timeline, add audio, add sound effects, listen over to it, take out the sound effects, take out the audio, watch only the videos, listen to what was actually transpiring at those events, then add back in the audio and put those little nuances. So a scream here, let's go, here, like put those energetic moments. And as I did that, the scene began to build, the story began to build, but I still wasn't feeling it. Still wasn't, getting that idea, that energy that I wanted to get across. And you would say, just call someone up and ask them for like insight or ask them for some help or ideas. The problem with doing that when you're creative yourself is that when someone gives you an idea, they tend to give it from either these 3 perspectives: their own insight, so this is how I do my stuff, this is how you should do your stuff. The second is their own insight with a twist on it. This is how I do my stuff, you can probably take that idea, put a spin on it, see how you feel about it, and go from there. And the third, which is usually the most common, is, well, this is what the trend is right now, and this is what everyone's doing, and this is what you should do. Here's the thing. That last one, as frank as this may sound, I don't listen to. Because first of all and first and foremost, I hate trends. I hate how media creation is going. I hate how social media is moving. That's just me personally. That's a gripe I have. It's just my thoughts and my ideas due to the fact that as someone who can latch on to content that's like fast and sporadic and, oh my gosh, that looks so cool, like I want to see more, like let's get it done. Someone who's very fast paced and jittery, it's draining. It's absolutely draining. It's something that you'd never catch me doing, at least without reason. And yeah, I know that's a hot take, but anyways, the other 2 on the other hand, I tend to take to heart because I'm like, oh, okay, this is what you do, and maybe if I tried this, I can probably come up with something better or something that ties into it that makes my project great. So I tried that and it didn't really work for these 3 projects specifically, so I just ended up doing it on my own by, again, dropping the media on the timeline, cutting it here and there, editing it here and there, and ultimately the projects were done, they came out. I ended up, thinking they looked fire. Yeah, they got exported, 24 hours late after when I was supposed to give them in, but that's pretty good. Like for my standards, that's pretty good. And when I sent them in, clients were happy, they were great, everybody's chill. I ended up being very happy that I got over that block to say, I did this, got this done, and now let's move on to the next one. However, this is an issue that I see happening more and more and more. How can I rectify it going forward? And my solution for that is trying to create my own content that has my own taste on it or my own style, in the sense where don't watch socials just to get an idea and run with the idea like, oh, everyone's using this specific audio or this specific cut style, let me do that. No, because that's what's been giving me the blockage after sitting down and, you know, just talking with myself or just analyzing it, due to the fact that I'm trying to fit a mold that I don't want to fit, or I'm trying to fit a mold that is not my personality, it's not my way of creating. So that's how I intend to rectify my blockage. However, that doesn't fix the overall problem. So it's one of those things where it actually never will be fixed. Everyone always gets creative block. There's multiple videos on YouTube that speak about creator's block and how to get over it, but my answer honestly is there is no way to get over it all the time. You can get over it now, you can get over it tomorrow, you can get over it next week, but there's some times when you're going to be so blocked that honestly, just put the pen down, put the paper down, put the mouse down, put the camera down, and just sit and mellow out. See what you can do. If it means your project is a wash, your project's a wash. If it means restart your essay, restart the essay. There's no full, I guess, solution I have to this from my experience. If you guys have any insight on that, definitely let me know, like, what you do to get over it. But yeah, what I do to get over it is I just shut myself out from the world and figure it out piece by piece, bit by bit. I think about my projects as Legos, but without instruction manuals. So a block here, a brick here. Oh, this one looks like it's gonna connect to here, a next brick, and I keep building until I get my desired results. Yeah, that's gonna take longer than when you have an instruction manual and you can flip through and know, oh, this goes here, that goes here, but life is life and life doesn't have an instruction manual. So sometimes you just have to treat it that way and actually deal with it that way. And that's kind of what I've been doing. So yeah, that's my take on it. Had some good takes, had probably some bad takes, had some hot takes, but that's how I deal with creator's block as a creative and as a student, and that's my interpretation of what creator's block is. So yeah, that's it. And I mean, as I said, if you guys have any ideas or concept that you want to talk about, drop them in the comments below. I actually read all of them, and most of the times they make me smile. So let's keep that going. That's pretty much it. And thank y'all for always listening. So with that, I'm out and hope y'all have a great Christmas. I'm recording this on the 20th. So yeah, hopefully it gets out by the 25th. If not, Happy New Year's, because I am not editing anything after this.